Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Girl, Is That Legal? With your girl, Attorney Simone, your legal bestie. Thanks for coming on back. And this is an episode I've been so excited to share with you. So, what we are going to review in this episode is the actual hearing footage from today's hearing with Christian Gold and Jennifer Williams, the Basketball Wives hearing. So, if my eyes are watering, apologies. These are my allergies. I am here visiting in Atlanta. Here we go. Look, I'm looking at the comments. Y'all don't realize, see, the comments, I can be reading these comments before I even start. And whoever told me to get off the toilet, I love you. While I was not on the toilet, that is the type of time I'd be on. Where is my beverage? See, I'm just going to be up here thirsty. All right. Literally. All right, here we go. Let me look at these comments as you guys are coming on in. So at this point, Jen needs to personally thank Simone for saving her. She don't want to be saved. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. There we go. The tea is hot. Someone said they're already married. That actually would make sense given that usually you get married first and then you go and you go to the courthouse and sign your marriage certificate, and then you go to whatever the destination is. Plus, I wouldn't be surprised if Christian was like, yeah, we definitely need to get married beforehand because I might be going to jail today, which he is. So if you're not aware, today the judge sentenced Christian to 30 days. So it was 30 days, but because it is local county, it looks like he's going to serve more like 15. But the judge exercised compassion in that she is allowing him to serve the first 2 days, get on the plane, go to his wedding, which is great. He's going to be making money to pay the victims and child support. And then he's got to come back and do the rest of his jail time. He also has to continue being on parole. I'm sorry, probation is what it is. It's not parole. There's a big difference. With this probation, it is not over until next August. In my prior video, if you haven't watched it, check it out. It was my reenactment of the hearing today. What I explain is I actually think this is a great solution. It is a victory for all sides, the sides of the victim, the sides of the baby's mom, because now he has access to more assets to pay them. And of course, it is a victory for the couple because they get to still go to their, 6-figure wedding. Now, what's his name? Christian lawyer has sent me a cease and desist, and I'm not sure which of the facts. I'm still waiting to hear back from him on which of the facts he's stating that I'm giving that are incorrect. But I'll say this. I know to be true that Christian is working on payment plans to pay people back. I'm not just going to disclose the substance of those plans, but I know for certain people he is working on those payment plans. And these are payment plans that would be repaid over time. And for those victims, this is a huge victory. Now he don't have no excuse for not hitting those payments on time. Now, some of those victims are still upset because they're like, I don't just want my money back. I want the interest. You basically had a free bank from me for all of this time, and I wouldn't have gotten my money had it not been for all this hullabaloo. So I say that as a start. So before I start playing the video, I also realized I did you guys a disservice. I did my little reenactment and I told you about the hearing and all of this, but I forgot to tell you the little fun fact of the day, boy. My morning really started interesting because I forgot to tell you guys that I rode to court in Patti LaBelle's tour bus. Sure did. So what happened was I was at a hotel room. I'm obviously not there anymore. So for those of you worried about my safety, I was at a hotel room that was in walking distance. So I have on my cute little Legally Blonde outfit. If you saw it earlier, it's very Legally Blonde. And I had my little outfit on. Oh, I might show you pictures a little later. And in my little Chanel heels, where I had that on, and then I was walking over to the courthouse, and there was this group of handsome gentlemen out front of the hotel, and there was like a sprinter, and the guys were like, oh, you look nice. And as I was walking, I said, oh, thank you. And then God was like, tell him your business. So I said, thanks, wish me luck, I'm heading to court. And they say, oh, good luck, you gonna do it. Oh, you gonna win. I said, thank you. And as I was walking, one of the gentlemen goes, you need a ride? And I turned around and I said, I sure do. Because I like strangers and I've never been kidnapped yet. So, and then I see his face kind of freeze. I said, you were joking, weren't you? He was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not the driver. Then the driver was sitting there. He was like, we can give a ride. He was like, boys, load up. I was like, okay. and it was a Sprinter that they're getting into. So they helped me in. I get in the Sprinter. The Sprinter just drives me right on over to the courthouse. And the one little nice gentleman, he's like the one who was like, I was calling his bluff, like, yeah, I want to ride. And he was like, well, when are you leaving? I said, well, I'm probably going to leave on such and such a day. He's like, well, if you're here till Sunday, I would love to give you some tickets to the concert. I said, oh, what concert is that? He said, well, we're musicians. And I knew they did something because they look like whatever they do, they was real good at it. He's like, well, we're here with Patti LaBelle. And I said, not Patti. In my mind, I tried to act like I was inside. I was like, not Patti. Patti is my auntie. Patti is my auntie, because, I used to watch A Different World with Whitley Gilbert and all of those. I was like, oh my God, Miss Patti, Miss Patti, Miss Patti. So, moral of the story is if you be nice to people and tell them just enough of your business, you too could get a ride to the courthouse and Patti LaBelle's tour bus. All right, that was useless. Here we go. Now, let's go ahead and start with this video. So I'm going to start with part 1. So what part 1 is, I want to establish, also I care about like goofy things. So I'm going to show you this part too. I have to set the scene for you. Z said, wow, find you your husband, Miss Redwine. I'm trying. I'm not giving up. I have to show you this picture. Okay. Now this is Christian's sweater. It was Bergdorf. Okay. It was really fancy. I just want you to see, he came up there designer to the max. Okay. He was ready for this. All right. The first video that I'm going to show you, this is the pre-conversation of the prosecutor and defense attorney before Christian stepped up to the front. Now the volume is really low. They're actually not on the microphones, so it's hard to see, but here. This is what I want to show you. Okay, there we go. These are the jailbirds, and then that's Christian, the free jailbird. These are the incarcerated jailbirds, okay? Who you got over here? If you can see my little cursor, that's Christian, the jailbird. These are all important. This is his mama, closest over there. This is Miss Jennifer. Oh, look at like a Martha's Vineyard, black ink well, Jack and Jill wife. And then this is the auntie that stalks me. And I don't know whose husband that is. I don't know if that's his daddy or his mom's husband. I'm not sure. And then this, look at this rich nigga over here. I mean, look at this rich colored boy over here. That, ladies and gentlemen, that is Mims. Now, Mims has the channel Make It Make Sense. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I told y'all before, don't dismiss. Here, I'm taking myself off the screen because I need you to see Mims in his glory. Look at Mims over here. Now, I told y'all before, Mims over here looking like an international drug lord, okay? Not no low level. He's not trafficking a doggone thing. Mims said, I'm here, I'm the boss. I'm in charge. And I dare you to incarcerate me. Okay. That's what Mims was given. I just want to see, this is also relevant to the story that Mims tells on his channel earlier today. Where he talks about he was trying to lay off in the cut because I'm clearly over here. He was trying to be inconspicuous so that if they were talking, they wouldn't know who he was and he could hear what they were saying. However, the problem is, this Negro sitting up here in some Versace sunglasses. Boy, look at that. Look at that. Okay, so you just get that point. Here, you're not going to be able to hear much because there's not much said, but I took this video because I wanted you to be able to see what it looked like in the courtroom. Okay. So Christian's not speaking. Care of that, and then we will handle this as quickly as I'm going to roll the audio back just a little bit so you can hear it. But the gist was the prosecution and the defense attorney are talking about the fact that they basically ironed out most of what they're disagreeing on and have about 10% left to talk about. And we'll get to that too. We're going to take care of that, and then we will handle this as quickly as we can. I'll take a brief recess. There are several conversations that need to go on. And then I'll come back so we can handle our hearings. Hold on. Now, somebody said they don't see me or Mims. Oh, you're not going to see me because I'm videoing it. So you won't see me throughout. But Mims is going to be in the far right corner and the black pant. He is the only man in the entire courthouse with sunglasses on in the courtroom. Okay, you can't miss him. far right side, he's wearing a black shirt for the person who said they don't see him. This is Mims from Make It Make Sense. Okay, so it's the far right. He's the second person from the end. I'm sorry, you can't see my cursor. But look, it's the same. He is the only far right side against the wall, the colored boy with the sunglasses on. I'm just saying he looks like $1 million. Okay. There we go. All right, so let me pull this down. What is this? Oh, that was a jacket. Hold on. And then now, hold on, we're going to go to the video of the hearing when it gets started. Here we are. There we are. And I do have this playing, and I think it is 1.25 speed. Let me go ahead and add that. There we go. This is 1.25 speed because my ADD, the way my ADD is set up. The whole video is 20 minutes. We're not going to need a whole 20 minutes because we're going to watch it and sped up. Let me just read these comments before I get started real quick. Hey, girl. Okay, Simone, please cover protectionism in your community. Family, friends covering you. Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Were you allowed, someone asked, were you allowed to go because you're a lawyer? Or no, that's a great question. Anyone could go. Anyone could go. In fact, some of the jury members were there. And I have to tell you, we sat in the front row. Me and some of the other jury members, they were there assisting me, as one of them was there as a camera person assisting me. But yes, anyone can go. Anyone, because that courtrooms are open public mediums. The only time a courtroom is ever closed is if there is a closed, sealed hearing. And the time that might happen is, for example, if it's like a child matter, a secret victim matter, but anybody can go into a courtroom. What was Jennifer's reaction? Oh, well, we're going to see some of that. All right, so let me go ahead and get that play. Hold on.
Okay, we ready on this matter to discuss whatever that 10% is to which the parties not agree. I did see your motion and it is granted. It's granted without question.
Hold on. When she says, I saw your motion and it's granted, she's only referring to the motion for a walk-in hearing. It's clearly granted because it's behind ain't arrested. Here we go.
This is...
You're going to see the judge's face later. You can't see it at the moment.
Position 5 on our calendar, 15 CR 1187, State versus Christian Walden. So the parties announced they have a resolution, but it's not ready to present. What's going on?
I'll let them just indicate first. It is an admission, judge, to the violations laid out in the petition for travel outside of jurisdiction. So there's an admission with those regards. As far as restitution goes, that I've shown the state proof is that will be, if it has not been handled, it will be handled. I have money in my trust or in my pocket. If what we sent does not go through, we send something to JPA, it does not fall through. So we have the restitution. So I think it's an admission to, I believe, part 4 of the petition. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 violations.
How many hours to get approved? Just a few hours.
Those are admissions that all occurred in the month of July of this year. So there's an admission to those.
Yes, that's true.
I believe restitution is resolved. So it would be as to sentencing.
All right.
And Your Honor, I don't know if you want me to read the petition into the record or you would like to take notice of the petition.
I'll take notice of it. I had to read before I signed.
Yes.
It is part of the record.
Understood. So that being said, we do have, as I understand it, an admission to the travel violations. I just want to speak briefly to those as well. But also, I understand that Mr. Maloof has brought money orders for the restitution amount in full. We're going to make sure that that is submitted to hopefully the correct place via
Probation officer was not
so that it will get paid off in full. My concern and why I'm going to ask for what I'm going to ask for is that there was, as I understand it, a previous administrative hearing a year ago as to another travel violation. At that point in time, and I have this here, I've shown Mr. Maloof, but Mr. Walden did sign it in the course of that administrative hearing that he was admitting that he had violated this provision that he's not to leave without permission and signed an acknowledgement to that effect. He has since then, on numerous occasions, thumbed his nose at the provision that he is not to leave the state without prior supervision. And in fact, he has left not only just the state of Georgia, but he has left the entire country of the United States. That being said, when he is to leave the country, my understanding is that he actually would have to get permission from your honor to do so, and has not done so on various occasions. And in doing so has been very flagrant with that. There are many postings on social media about his travels, going to various countries. And my concern is that he has shown disregard for that. That being said, I understand that there was not a subsequent violation in that there was not a new criminal offense that is being alleged in the petition that we have before your honor. I had let Mr. Maloof know what I was going to ask for. My understanding was that based on previous conversations that he was not opposed, but I don't want to speak for him. I think the issue was when this is going to be served out, because he's had the benefit. There is a warrant for his arrest currently for the probation violation. He has had the benefit of your honor placing him on a calendar for a walk-in violation. But I'm going to ask that he be revoked for 30 days based on the fact that he has these new violations. I understand he's making restitution whole, hopefully today, because we have those money orders in this courtroom today. But that he has previously violated, and he's been additionally warned beyond just a probationer who has not had that previous administrative hearing, who's signing an acknowledgement. And that is my concern here, is that he is continuing to violate and not go through the proper channels to do so. And so that is the basis of my request. I understand, or at least based on what I understood previously, that Mr. Maloof is going to ask for, if there was time to be served a different date. I asked that he be taken into custody today based on the fact that he has that outstanding warrant. But ultimately, we'll leave it within the discretion of the court.
All right, thank you, Ms. Maloof.
Judge, obviously, I filed a motion for walk-in hearing, and the basis for that was that Mr. Walton has a wedding that is coming up in 1 week. His fiancee, Jennifer Williams, Ms. Williams, is present in the court. He can stand up. And then
You see this one? Wait. It took me a second. Hold on. I'm going to roll it back. So this is everybody. I want to make sure you know. So Jennifer, the auntie that stalks me, I think this is his dad. More relatives. These are his people in the front row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and mama makes 7. Roll it back real quick. She clearly did not want to be required to waive. Oh, you know what? Let's slow it down. I forgot I got it on 1.5 speed. Oh, you got to see this because this is critical. We got to see this now.
it was coming up in 1 week. His fiancee, Jennifer Williams, Ms. Williams, is present in the court. He can stand up. And then everyone, I believe, back.
I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody said Jennifer looks more fit. Yeah, Jennifer should have dressed him. They matching, looking like fools. I mean, hey, like, I don't think I even would think to wear matching outfits like with my boyfriend to jail or to court, because he could be going to jail. Yeah, okay, we gotta watch it one more time. Jennifer. It was the smile for me, guys. It was the smile. It was the smile for me. Okay, one more time. We're gonna see her. We're gonna see. But look at the outfit. How cute. What a cutie patootie we got there. These little jailbird cutie patooties.
President in the court, he can stand up.
Oh, look at the outfit. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we're gonna look at the cute little peplum skirt. We've got, it looks like pearl buttons. We've got the blouse. We've got the bun. Okay, we've got the bun that says, "I'm innocent." You might be innocent, Jen, but he is not. He admitted. And then you can't see here, but her legs, there was not a stitch of ash. And I know this. I'm a very ashy person, but there was none there. Okay, I'll continue. We're going to take it. Hold on. I'll take it back to time and a half. My apologies. I'll take it back. I'm sorry. Back to time and a half. Which is very important that you guys see her wave.
I believe back there is with Christian, that he has strong family support. In my motion for walking,
the strong family support are the 8 people there.
The violations that he has are for leaving this jurisdiction without obtaining proper permission. And we admit that. He admitted that to the probation officer when they confronted him about that. That being said, Judge, we have a man that was
very demure in
custody almost 10 years ago. He served 30 months. He was released in February of 2018. Since his release, that's the violations that the state is going on, is that he is left without permission flagging. Restitution is being made in full. He has stayed away from the individual, in that case, Ms. Madison Schmidt. That was his only arrest ever. And he got the book from it. I'm pretty hard on that one, in my opinion. I believe that given the fact that he has no violations, other than technical before Your Honor, that he has a wedding that has been paid for in another country, and we were seeking a travel pass in that motion that I filed, that many people are going to attend, that I would ask the court in this particular case, given that the violation, in my opinion, is technical and relatively minor from what we normally see, and not one that he denied even with probation when confronted. And you've been out for 6 years, you're about to get married, you've got your family behind you, you're ready to go, and he was attempting to get restitution done so he could get off probation. So I would ask the court, given all that he be allowed, reinstated to probation and allowed to travel for his wedding. I would ask that once restitution is paid, and proof of that occurs, and we have the money in my pocket, we've also mailed it, so we brought that as a backup, just in case it hasn't posted in the system, that his probation term, this is almost 10 years, he's been out over 6. He's got strong family support, and this is about to be the biggest moment of his life, marrying love of his life. I think that that's a reasonable request under the circumstances. And so, Ms. Walton sits here for you, begging for forgiveness. He did not ask permission properly, but the one thing I will say in his defense is that the sheer magnitude, which is what I put in my motion, the myriad of probation officers, we have probation officers, consultants, we have chiefs, there were communication issues. It does not excuse the conduct, it helps to explain it. I think that's a reasonable request. So I certainly would ask that he be reinstated to go and be allowed to go get married. And I would also ask that once the restitution is confirmed and payment is in full, the final condition on his probation, that the case terminates. It's been almost 10 years. He doesn't have.
He's asking to terminate probation. Look at her face.
I think that's reasonable under the circumstances. So we'd be asking the court for that, is to lift the warrant, reinstate, once allow him to travel for his wedding, and that once the balance is paid in full,
Thank you, Erica.
that the case terminates. That's what we would ask. And if the court isn't wanting to give custodial time, I would ask that he at least be able to go get married and come back and serve the time at that.
So what his lawyer is saying is, hey, their first choice is that his entire probation be terminated now that he's paid everything. But their second choice is to give him a pass to go to the wedding. And if he's going to have to, basically to give him a pass to go to his wedding.
When's the wedding?
It's next week, Your Honor. The exact date, I believe the flight is okay, so the flight is on the 9th, Judge. The actual wedding is the 13th through the 15th. All the ceremonies and all the things that go from there. I just that was 20 years ago. It's a lot. And the honeymoon would be finished on the 21st.
The honeymoon. That's the caucasity that I talked about before. In my prior video, I said that like you have to be a very brazen person and say, oh yeah, we don't just want him to be able to go for that. We want to go for the honeymoon. However, I props to that lawyer for asking. The worst you can get is a no. So it's always better to ask for more. But I just felt that was kind of brazen and crazy to say, hey, we don't just want to go to the wedding. We want to go to the honeymoon too.
And,
look at her face.
do you have anything after hearing from Mr. Miller?
Yes, just briefly, Judge. So just to clarify a couple things, I don't think it's necessary to go through his criminal history, but Mr.
I'm doing the
Miller,
camera.
this is his only arrest. That is not in fact correct. But I don't think it's necessary to go through what his other arrests were, but just to say that that is not correct. I understand that a wedding is a very momentous event in someone's life. My concern is that, as you heard, this wedding is also out of the country and was planned, again, to go out of the country without permission. It's now a kind of attempt to beg for forgiveness, but this is a continual pattern that we're seeing over and over again against Mr. Goldman. And some of my concern is, again, I understand making restitution whole today, which I appreciate and is a good step forward. However, with all of these out of the country trips, my concern is that this case is set to conclude in August of 2024. That would be the termination date is August 24, 2025. And that all of these trips have been done without making really substantial payments towards a substantial amount of restitution. I appreciate that it's being made whole now, but I have concerns.
what she's saying is he's taken all these trips without making any substantial payments toward his restitution. Basically, the fact that he just made a payment of over $9,000 means for the last 10 years, he's only paid about $3,000. The baby mom mentioned the other day that I think she helped him with his restitution. And you know what? Forgive me. It may not have been it might have been part of my pre-interview with her, but she helped him pay about $2,000 towards the $3,000 of restitution that he had paid. And only recently, when he was filing this motion to get off, he paid like $9,300 and some change.
Why other things that are ostensibly for leisure are being taken more seriously than obligations to work. I will just state, at least from speaking with probation, my understanding is that I think at least on one occasion when he was confronted with travel, he did not initially admit, and then they had to confront him further, at which point he did admit. So I understand he's taking responsibility now by admitting, but those are my concerns. I would keep seeing these repeated violations. He then planned his wedding without getting permission in advance. Certainly something that he would be planning far, far in advance and would be enough time to get permission. And so I think that what we see here is, I'm not asking for substantial amounts of time on a revocation, but I do think there needs to be some accountability that when you are being held accountable out of court, that doesn't mean you do whatever you want at any point in time without any regard to the rules.
All right, anything else we need to know?
Only this is like the traffic. With many probation officers, so it wasn't, they just never did. It worked on it occur. I think that's important. This was a traveling world in leisure. But this
Oh, wait, sorry. This is her deliberating. The last. Now, as she deliberates, feel free to hit that Cash App, guys, if you want to support the channel at Miss Red Wine. I would appreciate that as well. Thank you for the super chats. Without an Apollo, yes. Good thinking. So I spit it up, y'all. Agreed.
All right, so as far as custodial time, I'm gonna have Mr. Walter taken into custody today. He'll be released on September 8th, and then he'll have to come back and report back to the jail on the 23rd of September, and he'll be released on October 5th. So he'll have 15 days custodial time, and then reinstate. I'm not gonna close his probation after payment of restitution, because that does not sit well with the court, that business or otherwise, that restitution, this case is old. And the length of the case is not positive in the fact that restitution is just now being paid, considering that we were here on violations that cost money for violating. So that is what we're.
This is when the mama started hollering. Y'all, this is when the mama said, oh, she falls out. Oh! Watch, I scam over to her because mama, you mama who's in the back of the scamming video, Miss Ma'am.
Yeah, but just so that I can make sure I have all the dates down and then I'll just be perfect.
15 days.
Hold on, watch.
Not 8.
Oh, she's falling out. Oh, mama. Okay, now this is the daddy uncle, whoever he is, daddy uncle. He's leaning forward. I love it. He's like Julius, but like not Beyonce. So Beyonce's bodyguard is Julius, and Julius will stand in your way if you're trying to take photos of her. So he was the Julius of the courthouse, okay, of the court. If you wanted to take a video of them or Jennifer, he'd stand in the way so you couldn't get it. Hey, Julius, y'all don't have Julius Beyonce money, but I like what you're trying to do there. Okay, here we go. So that's mama in the corner. Jennifer is controlling her. Oh, it's gonna be okay. This is them putting the cuffs on him.
same day.
I thought you said the 20th was when it was
No,
coming back.
the 24th, I apologize.
So it'll be not 24 until 10/6.
And for the total amount of time we're good.
15 days. 15
Okay.
days for both and then reinstate.
Assuming that probation is paid for the restitution amount, would you like to put in any special condition if, for whatever reason, the restitution does not actually get paid for some reason? Like that he's to come back within 30 days to confirm that restitution is paid?
Yeah, let's set this, I'll get a date from my clerk, but if restitution is not paid, please go to court and put it back on account.
Yes, Judge.
All right, anything else regarding Mr. Wilson?
No, I'll speak to probation. I have money for sports.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, all right, next, can we handle,
There we go. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Says that restitution is a way to get money out of Jen. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Super chat, Strills. Somebody said he keeps getting over. Says, why are they still talking about restitution? Okay, so I'm going to answer some of these questions. The reason they're talking about the restitution is because they still had not, they as in the state, has not actually received this restitution that they've allegedly paid for. So what I think happened is I believe that the defense counsel provided proof that it was submitted into the system, but the money, for whatever reason, has not yet hit Christian's account. I believe that's what they're referring to. So what the attorney is actually saying is that he was stating that the attorney himself has in his own trust account additional funds if the JPay money, they mentioned JPay in court, if that money doesn't come through or some glitch, they can basically submit it a different way. Whatever, it's some technicality. The gist of it being, if the court doesn't get their money by the time he comes back, there's going to be a new hearing and he's going to be in big trouble. V, thank you for joining. Thank you for being a new member. Letitia, welcome, honey. Thank you too. All right. Oh, thank you for the super chat as well. So Liberty Left. So the FBI filings were not considered today. That is correct. Well, so here's what happens. At the state, so they were not considered in front of the court for the same reason the probation officer was not in the court. That is this. The state, so I submitted everything to the state, and the state had made its determination based on the FBI filings and everything else that they were going to seek the 30 days. The reason the probation officer didn't have to come is what happens is any evidence you want considered, these were considered victim impact statements. You give it to the state, and then the state is the only one with permission to decide what they want the judge to hear. So the state heard. So yes, in the same way that the state received everything for probation, they received the victim information as well. And their focus was, that's why their focus was on the restitution, showing that he's paying it, but also with respect to this case, right? But also, I believe part of the reason why the judge said, okay, he can go and then come back is because we communicated, we, as in for the victims, we don't have a problem with him having the wedding because the victims are owed money and the wedding is going to be profitable for them and would give him an opportunity to pay them back. This is both what I communicated to, I communicated that to Christian's own attorney and to the court. Our issue was ensuring his return to America. And effectively, that's what she's done by requiring him to come back and serve additional time when he gets back. If he doesn't do that, then he becomes a ward. He's going to get arrested. He's going to have to do the rest of the time. So in effect, that's why I say both sides got a victory, because the victims just want to get paid. And it doesn't benefit anyone for him to be in jail when he could be working. And this is going to allow him to both work and come back. They just want him to work and come back. The concern is the coming back part. All right. Someone says, where is the probation agent? Again, the probation agent doesn't present. The only person that presents at these hearings is the state. And everyone gives the evidence, including us, to the state. And then the state does their thing. The FBI is still doing their investigations in the back end. The other reason this is great, now that he's getting paid, Christian has the opportunity to just repay everybody their money. Then the FBI won't even need to be involved. The FBI is involved. The only way that there is the fraud and this and that is if people don't get the money back that they were promised, right? He pays everybody back. We're good. You don't got to go to jail if you do the right thing. The problem is he's been telling people for the last year they're going to get paid back. And I do believe that because of the heat that's on here now, all of the heat, he don't want to deal with them feds. He does not want to do. He does not want them to continue the investigation that's already going on. Period. Poo. Larry says, I thought parole was you got off of a prison sentence early and that probation was instead of prison. Actually, I did too. But Georgia does something different. In this, he had a 3-part sentence. He was sentenced to 7 of 10 is basically what they call it. 7 years to, he was sentenced to 10 years to do 7. He did 30 months in prison. Then he did, I can't remember how many months on parole. And now he has the final 3 years on probation. So that's how they comprised the time. So I think it was 3 years in prison. Then he did another 3 years on parole, and like 3 more is going to be in it. So great question. Was MTV there? No. So that was the thing. That spoke volumes to me. The fact that I was there with my camera and I had court approval to record, but that MTV did not even ask to record. That says to me that they had probably determined that if this Negro went to jail and therefore the wedding that MTV already paid for wouldn't be allowed to happen, that MTV was like, we don't care nothing about y'all. We're not going to do a special. And so now, and the reason I think that is because if they were going to cover this either way, they would have sent a camera crew. And actually, I thought, hey, that would be great footage. If I'm going to watch the real story, like, I don't see how they could cover this and make it a good wedding special without this, especially with everyone knowing that this happened. I mean, hey, MTV, you can contact me. I can license you some footage, but you got to pay me and give some money to the victims. Again, I'm going to say it again. Did he know he was being arrested today? Baby, have you ever met a narcissist? They don't ever think they're going to get caught. I'm sure he did not think he was going to be arrested today. That's why his mama said, oh, she fell out. You couldn't hear it good on the camera, but baby, ma'am, you raised a criminal. You raised a criminal. And that's what happens when you raise a bad kid. Okay? You got a bad kid. That's what you get. Heartache. Have a nice day. Simone, did I find out if Christian Jennifer filed for marriage in Georgia already? No, I don't know. I haven't had time, y'all. I'm barely breathing. Thank you, Erica. Jennifer has got to be doing this for a storyline at this point. I refuse to believe that she is this dumb. How embarrassing. Listen, I feel like the only thing that'll save her at this point is if she stands him up at the wedding. I don't think that's going to happen. You saw that wave. That wave was... Also, let's just take a minute to think about this wave. I want to know, what was the logic in this lawyer man's head, in the Gmail lawyer, because he got a Gmail account, y'all. Remember, I said, if your lawyer got Gmail, you're going to jail. And was I right? I was right. What was the logic in this man's head to say, hey, let's make sure this Black lady judge knows Jennifer Williams is his fiance? Sir, hush, 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 hush. You sound stupid. All right. Simone, thanks for helping the business. Oh, and enlightening all. Thank you, Dee. The prestigious one. Thank you. Celebrity Scandalous. Say, girl, you the new storyline ruined the wedding. And the scam. I definitely ruined the scam. Now he's going to have to pay people back. I'm sorry. Just pay people back. That's all we need. You don't need to go to jail. You going to jail doesn't help nobody. Give us their money. Batty says, you can't be this obtuse, excusing his behavior because you think he has $1 million. Designer items and luxury cars are only evidence of debt. Especially here. Here's a fun fact that I learned. Question, if I'm incorrect, please let me know so that I can correct this for my audience. But it's my understanding that the Rolls Royce that Jen previously had a version of a Rolls Royce luxury car. I'm not talking about the Ferrari. We all know about that Ferrari. She had a Rolls Royce. He traded in hers and got her something better. Here's the thing. You trading me, you don't get credit for trading me in something I already own, especially if I've already paid it off, fool. Because that means if I paid something off, and let's say it's worth 150, and I've paid that off, if you trade it in, you've given yourself 150K credit. You're not slick. You're not slick. Sid said, who is going to start the position for Simone to get her own show? Oh, thank you, Sid. Why are they still talking about restitution? Because I guess they hadn't received it. I kind of talked about that. Oh, thank you, prestigious one. Oop. XO Christy says, given how smart Jen is, the wedding special money is probably already spent. Those babies won't see a dime, and I wouldn't be surprised if he absconded. Now, I do know this from having been on a reality show myself, Ready to Love. Some people are like, where did you look familiar from? I was on a show called Ready to Love. And the way that payment generally works, I have not seen his contract, but generally it works like this. When you sell a special, you get a lump sum, a partial lump sum when you sell it. Then you're going to get something as you're filming, right? Like I won't call it a per diem, but you get an amount while you're filming that's also to be used to pay for, compensate you for your time, but also like makeup and stuff like that. But then the real money comes once it's over and they decide how many episodes, because you receive an amount per episode. You'll remember that when people talk about not coming back to different Bravo shows, the way Bravo usually does it is that they don't necessarily fire someone. They just tell them, oh, we'll bring you back for 6 episodes, maybe instead of 12. And then you realize like, oh, wait, but I'm only getting paid per episode. It ain't worth my time to only be brought back for this many episodes. So I say that to say they probably have already got and likely spent that initial lump sum, but the amount that's going to be per episode, they probably have not received that yet because the wedding hasn't taken place. Therefore, editing doesn't even know how many episodes it'll be. Let me see what else we got. Ooh, Allie, thank you. Allie said, isn't scamming people out of their money a crime? It is. And he did that while on probation. Make it make sense. So this is a new crime right now. Again, these are the FBI investigation complaints. It's a new crime. What I was explaining before is that let's say 6 months from now, hopefully sooner, the FBI investigates and decides, yep, we're going to indict him on this. We're going to bring charges. That's 6 months then. When that happens, usually with the FBI side, they will give him like a bail. But on this Black lady judge side, on the probation side, it is a probation violation. And so whereas ordinarily you could just make your bail and go home, what will happen is likely he will have to sit in prison until at least the end of his sentence, August of next year. Okay, because that's a probation violation to pick up a crime. So right now it is considered an uncharged crime. But if the FBI or even the state of Georgia chooses to indict him on this crime or even charge him, literally it could just be the charging of the crime. If he gets charged with the crime, then he's going to have to sit in jail. It ain't going to be no bail is the answer. Ain't going to be no bail. Feds may give you bail, but what happens is the state says, even if you pay that bail, you got to sit your behind down. So that's why I also say it puts pressure on him to repay the victims, because if you get indicted by the feds, you're going to have to sit there until the end of time, until the end. The question is, does he have any money? I don't know. But as much as Jennifer cares about her public opinion, she may be willing to help him so that he don't have to go back to jail and make her look stupider, because there's already some stupid, but maybe he don't want to be stupider. Simone, if Christian goes ahead and pays everyone off, would he still be charged for a crime? I don't know is that answer. That is a great question, because that would, paying everyone off eliminates the need for restitution. But I don't know if it makes the feds determine this does not need to be charged as a crime. Why didn't they take him in once he showed up on TV with all that hot mess started with the interviews? So if they had, so what happened was, remember, he says that his lawyer said he found out from Instagram that there was a warrant for his arrest, right? So reality TV podcast, they posted to their Instagram, and then I did a video reposting it, and they, his aunties was like, his auntie was commenting on my post, he ain't being arrested. Okay, well, baby, it's a warrant. So what happened was he wasn't arrested previously because once he found out about it, he hired a lawyer. The lawyer requested a walk-in hearing. because the court granted that request, it means that they're not going to just arrest him beforehand. It means they get to wait for that hearing for him to have to get arrested. Where was Jennifer? She's a magnet for scammers, bless her heart. If she marries him, she better get a prenup. I don't think she's smart enough to do that. I think a prenup would acknowledge what we all know to be true. And I don't think, yeah. But I do agree. That's what needs to happen. It says, I agree, Simone. I agree. Thank you. They need to cite their sources. Oh, thank you. If he pays the victims, would he still get convicted of committing a federal crime? I don't know. I know that it's a lot less likely that anyone would want to pursue it if they're getting paid. I don't even think the feds probably won't care if people are getting paid. Their focus is on people who have not been made whole. So I highly doubt. I think in this instance, Christian, I know you're watching, Auntie. Hey, Auntie Lauren. Auntie Lauren is his aunt that hates me. By the way, Auntie Lauren, you look very pretty in court today. I got my people mixed up. Auntie Lauren is the one who's got the red hair like Orphan Annie, but like really classy and stylish. I think I showed you in the photo. Auntie Lauren she's quite cute. Let me see if I have a picture. Yeah, I'm not gonna poke the bear. I'm not gonna show Auntie's page, but Auntie likes to stalk me and say nasty things. But they all looked really nice. What was the point of that? I don't know the point of that. Somebody said not jailbirds. Simone, do I think Jennifer will do a Yandy marriage instead of a legal one? Absolutely. I think that actually would be a good idea. I think a Yandy marriage would make a great sense. Summer Breeze. Hey, Dr. Simone. Jen got hot. How was she looking at you? Oh, she was disgusted. Okay. Let me tell you she really got upset when the bailiff said there's to be no recording in the courtroom. But I knew that I already had an order. So Christian sees me recording and he taps the bailiff. He's like, she's recording over there. And the bailiff's like, who? And he was, she in the pink, because I was dressed like Legally Blonde. And the bailiff was like, oh, she has permission. She has a court order. He was like, and Jen rolled her little eyes. You're so sick of me. Hey guys, I'm sorry. Give people their money back, okay? Stop committing crimes. Give people their money back and we won't have to talk about it anymore. That's all I'm saying. Allegedly. It is alleged you didn't pay these people. Pay these people their money. Somebody says, I do not like the fact that blogs aren't giving you. Oh, thank you. You did this work and for weeks, not on my watch. Thank you, Chandra. Good job, Simone, for the victims and the kids. Love you more. Yes, girl, guys. Okay. Latoria. Pay them their money. Simone, Christian's mother, does she have red hair? No. Okay. The mom has dark hair. She was in the corner. She had the dark hair. It was more like a bob. It's the auntie, the fake auntie. She's not a real auntie. The fake auntie is that another fool accused of essay? Oh, no. The fake auntie is the one that be harassing me. And to be clear, unfun fact, because this isn't cute or cool. The aunt that harasses me is the same aunt who harassed his last victim. The victim who had to escape by jumping off the 4th floor of the balcony in the false imprisonment case. In fact, the court transcript that I read in one of the prior videos, in it, the judge was disgusted and appalled in a portion of the sentence. The reason the sentence this boy got was because that auntie was harassing the victim. She did the same thing she did to me. She would go on Facebook and say, oh, she's lying. She's lying on my nephew, blah, 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 naming the victim and dragging it. This grown auntie is out here doing these things. I don't know what it is, auntie, that makes you feel the need to speak for an adult, a potty-trained adult male. He's supposed to be potty-trained. And you feel like you need to speak on his behalf against the victim. Ma'am, pray on that, okay? Pray about it. I hope to see you in heaven. If I don't, I think I know why. Yeah, Naomi said that's a nasty word. Maybe it's his godmother. It could be his godmother. Timmy, you said a word. I think you're right. Timmy said she's probably benefiting from his actions. I believe. Yeah. Oh, somebody said auntie need to go to bingo. Oh, I need to go play bingo somewhere. Yep, that's her. She's an enabler. Yeah, that's the thing. Whenever you find a sorry ass man, you're going to find some enabling ass women behind him. It always starts with the mother. It starts with the mom, because it's hard to be like that sorry, these days. It starts with women who didn't hold them accountable. The real aunt in the chat. Oh, hey, auntie. We got a real auntie in the chat. Was that you, Auntie Lauren? A deadbeat is still a deadbeat. Oh, Cynthia said a deadbeat is still a deadbeat in a Bergdorf Goodman sweater. I'm gonna have to agree with you. Simone, one of their Jen and CD videos, his mom is out to dinner with them, and she has a red bob and is a pretty lady. Yeah, all the women are pretty. Oh, they're beautiful. All of them are beautiful. But today it was Auntie Lauren. Lauren Stovall was her name. That was the name of the person that, had the little YouTube page that was talking nasty to me. If you go to my community page under my post, I post screenshots of her trying to check me. Auntie trying to check me. I respect my elders, Auntie. Don't whip me, please. Someone in the chat just tried to say you are disbarred. Okay, that's great. I'm disbarred. Okay. Jennifer is really looking for love. We all are, but you have to have standards. I agree. I need to get a restraining order. I just might. Let's see. Go to the community page. Yeah, go to the community page. All right, guys. Well, I enjoyed talking with you guys. I'm going to be briefly on the Court of Public Opinion this evening on Al Reynolds' channel. Check it out if you have not already. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Bye, guys.